In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can do things with a lot of different cameras that they're actually not designed to do, and that's take very wide, amazing panoramic photos. Lots of cameras cannot actually take a panoramic photo. You're kind of at the mercy of the lens and that's it. So if you don't have a wide lens, then you're kind of screwed. And even with a wide lens, it is still very hard to take a very wide panoramic photo. So in this case here, I've got a 24mm Viltrox lens that's going to be on the Sony ZV-E1, and that's not that wide, but it's not that tight either. Either way though, we're going to take a photo that looks like this with a 24mm lens. Speaking of the Sony ZV-E1, this is an awesome opportunity to grab hold of the incredible slow motion that's just gone in on a license update. See the last video for that. But this is 240 frames per second. This is bonkers. Now, let's get to the panoramics directly after this. I love that HD 240, it's bonkers. Now, from the photo perspective here, what we gotta do is just take a couple of shots. So you can go from left to right, snap, 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 snap. Now, what we've got here is a whole bunch of photographs, and that's kind of it. So that looks nothing like a panoramic. All we gotta do though is drop these photos into a piece of software, and then this is where the magic really happens. If you want to get an amazing looking photograph that it really pops, then make sure you stick around, because we're only using Lightroom for one core function here, and that's to stitch all of these shots together, and then we're going to jump into something else which will blow your mind. So let's get into this. All we know to do is press File, let's go Import Photos and Videos, maneuver your way to where your photos are. So I've got all mine here and I've just put them into a folder called Pano Shots. So we've got 5 shots here, and you can see they're kind of various different things. Now, if you do this by hand, it would be an absolute pain in the butt. So I'm going to import all of these here really quickly. Now, if you want, you can start kind of messing about with these photographs here, and you can copy one setting to the other if you want. You don't have to. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to press Control and A, or Command A, and I'm going to go to Photo. I'm going to go to Photo Merge, and then I'm going to select Panorama. Now, if you did a HDR panorama, you'd select that and so on. But this is Panorama, so I'm going to select that. Then Lightroom goes off and does its thing. And then from all of those photographs, look at this, that was in real time. It's done all of this and it's put all of these together. If I feel just leave it do its thing, whatever way it wants. Auto settings, create a stack. Auto crop, so it will crop out all the other junk that's there, and we could also fill the edges if we want, but we're just going to get this photograph. Let's go to merge. It's going to do its thing, and in just a few seconds, literally less than a minute, we have created this insanely wide panorama. Now I'm going to bounce into Luminar Neo, who are the sponsors of this video, and this software has just blown my mind with how quick it can make a photograph just explode and pop everywhere using AI, using a whole bunch of presets, and it's super easy to use. What I want to do here is I'm just going to add a photo, add image. I'm going to bounce into my photo here, which I have stuck up on the desktop. And this is the panel that we used Lightroom to stitch together. So we have a whole bunch of presets here. So it's kind of an overcast day. So this is what it's suggesting here. So within seconds, we can get a dynamic result. We can get mystery, night's thunder. And I mean, this is really doing amazing looking stuff to this photograph, just like that. Backlit clouds, Arctic Sea. I like the Arctic Sea one. I also like the dynamic one. But because I'm a control freak, probably like you, I want to get into the edit tab here and see what else is going on. This is where the real magic happens with Luminar Neo. There is a ton of stuff here. So we can see there's stuff here that says AI. That's the Skynet robots doing their thing. So let me kind of zoom in here, but we can see, okay, I didn't nail focus entirely, so we can make it super sharp. So let's go with just a low sharpening. We got all these cool animations. It's doing its AI thing. And then it's going to sharpen this image up just a tad, just enough. And it has made a difference. And if you hold down the backslash key, you can see, especially if we look here around the tower on St. Coleman's Cathedral, it's just giving it enough sharpness, just a touch, which is just enough, which is always the way with a lot of things. So let me go back out here. Let's look at some of the other options here. I don't think this picture is particularly noisy, so we're good on that one. Now, let's take a look at structure. So this is, again, artificial intelligence is using this. And what I would suggest is when you're doing any of this kind of stuff, like put the sliders one way, put them the other way, see what happens. I don't like that. We could boost it. Ugh. So let's just kind of bring it back up here and let's give it a little bit. All right, always start with a little bit, but you got to start with all of these sliders and see kind of what way they're going to work out. When they're maxed out, you can figure it out from there. So the relight one here, we can change the brightness, whether it's near or far. So depending on the type of shot that you want, you could actually, we'll say, brighten up the distance there a little bit, which is giving a bit more highlight to the scene. And then we can darken it down here so the eye is kind of being drawn in all the time. Same with the atmosphere. If you want to add a little bit of fog, which we don't want to do. There's so many options in this thing. It's kind of crazy. Sun rays, it's Ireland, so there's not too much point of putting sun in there. But if we wanted to, we could put it here. And then we can go, ah, which is probably a bit much. So we're probably going to leave the sun out. But this is just giving you an idea of what you can actually do. There's a ton of other stuff here as well, like there's super contrast. If you want, you can give some more contrast to the highlights. Again, just push it always up to see what happens. You look at the highlights balance, so whether too little, too much. Midtones, we can bring up some contrast in the midtones. Same with the shadows. And this type of control makes things super, super powerful. So it's very easy to do these with just a few sliders as opposed to digging into tone curves and all those other things. Color harmony is something else, so we can make things just a little bit, nope. Although that does look like something off a stereotypical ageless Irish postcard from like the 1900s. But again, we can warm things up just a tad because it was relatively warm here. We have color contrast, like the amount of functionality you have in Luminar Neo here, it's crazy. And I've literally only started playing with this weekend for like an hour here or there, and within just a couple of minutes you can see you can make some really, really powerful changes to your photographs. So again, here's what we started with, boom, and this is what we've ended up with. One thing that I didn't mention, because I kind of saved this to the last, because this does blow my mind a little bit, Sky AI. So we can actually change the sky in our photograph here. And even this is a super wide panel, the AI is going to look at this and it's going to, well, let's see, sky selection. So we've all skies, blue sky, bright blue sky, dramatic sky, sunsets, all of that jazz. All we got to do is just hover over one of these and we can instantly see a change to the sky. Not only does it change the sky, but it changed the tone of the actual image as well. So if we look here, there's the original, and now we can see it's changing the actual coloring in there. Now, some of these skies mightn't suit you, you mightn't suit the picture, but it's good to know that you have got these options. So for example, as cool as that looks, doesn't really look like it fits in this picture. That one, probably not either. But then if we start moving down, we're going to see some more skies, and if we want to go really crazy, then we can put in some stars if we want. But it's a nice option to have, and you can add your own skies, you can get more skies. But for me, just because I like the sky that I had, then we're not going to use any of these. But this is all using AI, so everybody's talking about AI, and this is a really good way to do it. So that's how you get a panoramic from any camera with just taking a few photographs, and this is how you make the photograph absolutely pop off of the screen. Now, thanks to Luminar Neo for reaching out, hooking me up. They haven't paid me any money. If you do sign up from the link in the description, I do get a little bit of a kickback. But other than that, this is Luminar Neo. So if you want to do something that's really fast and really simple and just get amazing results, this one, it's generally, I think, a no-brainer. Speaking of a no-brainer, what also would be good is if you subscribe to the channel, because we've got a whole ton more videos coming, as we always do. Anyway, thanks for watching this one. We'll see you on the next one.